Howdy Hexkins, Bobbie H here with Quatro Cinco News coming at you from Melbourne, Australia. I know this is not what you're expecting to see with our first episode starting with 5. However, sometimes we have to make adjustments when we hit technical issues. We value y'all and do not want to delay any longer with delivering this week's episode, which is why my producer Blex will be coming out from behind the camera at QC Studio. Thank y'all so much for understanding, and I'll see y'all next week. Until then, stay safe and stay long.
Good evening, y'all. Welcome to Quatro Cinco News. I'm Blexy Hexy, filling in for Bobbie H, who's away this week. Thank y'all for joining. Our first story. Longtime crypto investor and Bitcoin Cash co-founder Roger Ver had some nice words for Richard and the HEX community at this past week's HEX Conference, presenting a very different tone than what we've heard from him before.
Hi everyone in the HEX community. My name is Roger Ver. I was the first investor in the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And a long time other participant in the cryptocurrency ecosystem really did a good job of convincing me to make a video for all the HEX fans out there today, even though I'm trying to take a break from social media, everything. But just want to congratulate you guys on raising, I think I read $27 million for SENS. That's a really big deal and a really big amount of money. And so thank you and congratulations for that, since that's something I'm also interested in.
This shows the changing tune towards Richard and HEX.com as it continues to solidify its place in the broader crypto ecosystem. A project that was once written off by many influencers in the space, HEX has seen a meteoric rise in popularity recently as people continue to seek out yield in the bear market. In the wake of our story last week about slander, it seems many are changing their tune. Not all, however. We received word this past week that Richard Hart's YouTube channel had once again been rugged, for reasons yet to be explained. This is not the first time it's happened. YouTube has frequently been known to flag and shut down channels based on their loose community guidelines, and they've even stated publicly that creators can lose their channels without violating any of the guidelines at all. YouTube argues that this is to protect their viewers from malicious content. However, the mistakes highlight the frailty in their algorithm. It took almost a week for the channel to be restored, despite having hundreds of complaints filed. This has caused several in the community to seek alternative channels for distribution. Richard himself recently joined a streaming platform called Odyssey, which claims to be a streaming platform powered by crypto. In an attempt to increase the rate of adoption over there, integral community member Hex Orca pledged to donate all of his earnings on that platform to the HEX community by creating a stake and immediately nuking the penalties to the staker class. Thankfully, Richard's channel is back up and running, and all the videos have been restored. In other news, the HEX Investment Trust has officially been announced, creating the first form of exposure to HEX for the legacy finance systems. On Discourse Syndicate last week, the Captain, Kinetics, and Whales Only were proud to announce that the 506c registered trust would now be available to accredited investors.
We have officially launched a HEX Investment Trust. It's a 506c registered private trust, available only to accredited investors.
This is a massive moment for the community as it now opens up a new demographic of capital that was previously hidden behind the numerous barriers of entry to crypto. For more, we check in with Whales Only.
So let's talk a little bit about what's actually going to happen in the plumbing, because this is what it's all about, right? The whole purpose of everything that we're doing is to get capital flowing, to get HEX traction, right? That's the whole purpose of this. Every dollar that comes in is going to be equivalent to 10 HEX being taken off the market, so to speak. So if there's 10,000 units of HEX Trust being created, you multiply that by 10, 100,000 units of HEX, gone. Because what's ultimately going to happen is that all of this HEX is going to be staked for the max.
The trust will operate similar to Grayscale for Bitcoin as a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, granting exposure to HEX for folks in the legacy markets. From what I understand, should things go as planned, users would be able to gain exposure to HEX through their traditional retirement tools, such as their 401k and IRA. Captain, what does this all mean?
What that means, guys, is the HEX that we're locking up in this fund is never coming out. It's like an OA. There will always be paper traded against it. Basically accredited paper, meaning that investors on the NASDAQ will buy into crypto that way versus trying to have custody of their own coins. These investors like to use products that are guaranteed by the SEC to be products that have been vetted. So what we just did is we went through the vetting process.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you guys for all of your hard work, and this looks like a really exciting opportunity. A reminder to everyone in the community to please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on all of the things as they progress. Our next story. Longtime YouTuber, Hexakin, and post-chain advocate Lit Gaines let people know this past week via his YouTube channel that his mother had recently passed and her home was now under threat of repossession. Many community members generously donated to the cause, and when Hex whale Rackham Rishel caught word that the commitment still fell short, he personally made the pledge to cover the remainder. This is just a small example of the numerous generous acts in the Hex community. This sort of act has ripple effects, however, because not only does it change a single life, it's important to recognize that anyone selling Hex, for whatever reason, hurts the price for everyone. So not only do these generous acts help save Hexicans from themselves, but they help save everybody from the dreaded red candles. To close our episode today, we take a quick look at the market recap. The Hex price hit a local low of 9.6 cents this past week, presenting another glorious opportunity for buyers. Global instability paired with the continued wait for Pulse Chain has forced many to either lock in losses or choose to stake and earn yield, as Hex was designed. We've seen a continued surge in the number of stakers, as it was only a couple of weeks ago on the show we were announcing that we were slowly approaching the 80K mark. Well, this number has now rocketed up past 87,000, and the adoption chart for the past months looks like a hockey stick. At quick glance, the staker leagues show turtles, crabs, shrimps, and shells continuing to surge, with shrimps being the fastest growing cohort. There are nearly 27,000 stakers in this league, up nearly 7% in the past month. As always, the T-Share rate continues to climb, now sitting at 21,107 HEX per T-Share. It's clear skies for the next few weeks, with May 9th being the next major grouping of stakes ending. Should these stakers choose to restake, there could be a significant spike in the T-Share rate, so a reminder to lock in your T-Shares before they become impossible to get. Some experts have coined this era the Great Redistribution, where those who hold strong will be handsomely rewarded in the long run. With that, thank you for watching Quatro Cinco News. I'm Blexy Hexy, filling in for Bobbie H. We look forward to her return next week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the bell notifications to be alerted of all the breaking news in the HEX community. Signing off till another day, stay safe and stake long. Good night.